National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi there, I'm Naturopathic Dr. Jonathan Beatty, a health expert here at nationalnutrition.ca. Today we're going to talk about a problem that many people find embarrassing, they struggle with, and that's urinary incontinence. Essentially what that is the inability to hold one's urine. It can affect men and women, although it typically does affect women a little bit more. And what happens is it'll start with something very mild, like a little bit of bladder leakage with, say, sneezing, coughing, laughing, or jumping. But it can progress quite severely to essentially full wetting of yourself and just complete lack of bladder control. Oftentimes people will manage this by wearing adult diapers and panty liners and things like that to absorb the urine as it leaks, but none of this actually corrects the underlying problem. So what you want to do is get evaluated as to why that problem exists. Many people say, well, it was popping out a couple of kids, having gone through pregnancy. That can create changes in the pelvic floor that can lead to urinary incontinence. Now, the one thing I will always recommend to anybody that suffers from urinary incontinence is find yourself a pelvic floor physiotherapist. These are physiotherapists that are specially trained to deal with the section of the body known as the pelvic floor that can actually help control urinary incontinence. And oftentimes, due to muscular imbalances, either the muscles being too tight or on the flip side too weak, that can actually contribute to the development of urinary incontinence. And there are special exercises that you can do that can actually alleviate your symptoms or make them go away altogether. So I always recommend my patients to go get evaluated by a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Now, they may find that there's nothing structurally wrong, and they're not going to prescribe you any exercises to do because that's not the cause behind your incontinence. Other things, if it's persistent or it suddenly comes on and then gets a lot worse, a lot faster, push your doctor to go get some imaging, as any type of cyst or tumor growth can actually be pushing on a nerve, creating that urinary incontinence. So it's always important to get evaluated for any type of structural reasons behind the condition. Now, if none of those things are causing it, other causes of urinary incontinence can be actually what we call chronic bacterial cystitis, which is almost like having a chronic infection of the bladder. And what ends up happening is because the bladder wall gets chronically irritated, it doesn't expand as easily. It doesn't want to expand as easily. And so as it starts to expand, it gets irritated, it contracts in response to that, pushing out a little bit of urine. And of course, that leads to the urinary incontinence. And then some of the other cases of urinary incontinence I've seen, I actually had one client who was taking too many vitamins. And what was ending up happening was all of the binding molecules that are found in vitamins, they were actually taking too many and they were coming out in the urine. And this was irritating the bladder, leading to the bladder incontinence. And so essentially what we had to do is really streamline this person's supplement protocol, reduce the number of vitamins they were swallowing, and in doing so we reduced the bladder irritation and the urinary incontinence went away. So sometimes, with the intention of really trying to heal our bodies and taking in large doses of a large variety of vitamins, we can actually be causing ourselves harm in other ways. So it's something you always want to work with a trained professional with, so that you can identify the actual root cause behind your urinary incontinence so that you can get it treated appropriately. So if you or someone you know suffers with urinary incontinence, I hope this video has helped. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. If you like this video and you want to check out more, subscribe to our channel, and always remember, knowledge is health.